But Cindy, you met the man who ended up turning into your husband online.
Correct.
How did you learn that he was not the person you thought he was?
You know, it took some time for me. I was with him for quite a few years, and I found out all one day.
It all came crashing down. Now, you were on a website, dating site, recently single,
Yes,
right?
correct.
And so you're like anybody else. My life's not over. I'm beautiful. I'm confident. Why can't I meet somebody?
Exactly.
And you thought you'd met a nice Christian guy.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what I thought he was. I mean, he came on very charming, very nice, and came on very fast and strong as well. And he wooed me. He really did. He wooed me, and I was excited because he was just so kind and sweet. And so I just didn't know anything different, you know, at the time.
Abby, for you, you met and I guess I can call him the con. You're a journalist.
You can call him the con. I do, yeah.
You are a journalist.
Yes.
You were interviewing him for a story.
I needed to quote a doctor for a story I was writing for a newspaper, the New York Times, actually. And somebody suggested this guy in private practice in California. So I quoted him. And then a year later, I called to fact check it when the story was finally running. And then we started kind of talking more. And it turned out he had joined the Navy. So he became a Navy doc.
So he was really a Navy doc?
He really was.
Well, he really was a Navy doc. So
yeah.
here you are, you're this journalist.
Yeah.
You know, we vet people, we check the facts,
Yeah.
and you ended up just happening to, he was who he said he was.
He was who he said he was, but he wasn't a Navy SEAL. He wasn't, it turned out, he didn't work for the CIA, because you can't vet that. You can't say, hi, Mr. CIA Human Resources, do you have this guy working for you?
Right.
You can't do that, you know?
What made you fall for him?
He was charming. Like Cindy, he was charming. He adored me. Oh my God! I mean, I'm the greatest thing ever.
Now, were you hesitant
I mean,
because he was a subject of your story?
He was an expert. He was an expert.
Expert.
Yeah.
So no lines crossed when he started to kind of pursue you.
No. And then he started. We talked more and more, and finally we went out for a celebratory dinner because he had to come to New York to speak at the United Nations, which he didn't. But we went to the Four Seasons for dinner. Went back when the restaurant when it was here.
It's interesting, both of you, even though it took a year for your relationship to blossom, the thing in common is that these guys, and in some cases women who are these cons, they come on strong. They come on hot and heavy.
They do.
They see a vulnerability in your life. What did he see that you expressed that was missing?
At the time, I had just lost my mother, so I was, alone and sad, and my children had grown up, and so I was just kind of like, oh, it would be nice to have, somebody pay attention. And he was really super fun and sweet to me the whole time.
Because that's what cons know how to con.
They love bomb.
Yes.
It's called love bombing.
It's called love bombing.
Love bombing. They just shower you with affection and with love and compliments and gifts, and sometimes they're not that expensive, but okay.
Cindy, you were married 4 years to this man. How did it unravel?
All in one day. I woke up one day, and he said he was going to go out to wire some money to buy our house that we were living in, that we were renting, and he never came back.
He never came back?
Never came back.
And
so I started calling his partners, and I said, what's going on? He goes, well, he's supposed to wire us money. And I go, he's supposed to wire me money.
what did he do for a living?
He actually traded stocks.
So he said he was
He did a Ponzi scheme, basically.
He did a Ponzi scheme. When you were together over the 4 years, was much of the money coming from your bank account? Or
Mine.
So you were financing the lifestyle.
Yeah,
and he was supposed to be a business guy.
Yeah.
And so he
was out raising capital from a lot of other people and getting money from them for his fund, and ended up all finding out. Everybody found out in one single day.
People always ask, are there red flags?
Yes, absolutely. I think that, I don't know, it's kind of a personality type that we kind of are committed, to a fault almost, in a way, you know what I mean? I kind of wanted to leave him before, but, it was inevitable at some point, but it was just such a shock to find out everything in one day.
Abby, how did you find out that the person was living a lie?
I left him within a year, but I couldn't verify anything. Like I said, I couldn't call the CIA, I couldn't call the Navy SEAL, I couldn't do any of that. We went out to dinner with my parents for dinner in Washington, D.C., and we had these Brussels sprouts, and he raved about the Brussels sprouts. They were the greatest Brussels sprouts ever known to man. And we left the restaurant, and he said to me, that was the worst meal I've ever eaten. And I thought,
but that's not so unusual.
No. But I thought, okay, if you could lie about something so inconsequential and stupid, you can lie about anything. So I was out. I was done.